Welcome to the Weekly. I'm Jeremy.
I'm Chris.
And this week on the Weekly, Warlord Games, Paul Sawyer, some not great news. Plasmodics RPG, more official D&D spirits because they're such heavy drinkers, those new D&D players. And Barbarians of Lemuria, a Mythic Plus edition. So we'll tell you what the plus is all about because there is already a Mythic edition. All right. So let's get started. We'll start with the bad news first. I always end on a down note. So we'll get the bad news out of the way. So Warlord Games on their social media and also a newsletter update on email sent out some information about Paul Sawyer. So people may have been concerned because earlier this year at Salute in London, he collapsed. And so he's been very ill for the last 4 months. And many customers of Warlord have been asking about it. And so this is an update from John Stallard, the other co-founder of Warlord Games. He regrets to say Paul will not be well enough to return to work. However, he remains cheerful and is surrounded by his loving family. And he goes on to say Paul and himself set up Warlord Games 17 years ago, forming a dynamic team with a lot of Games Workshop. And everyone is like Games Workshop or White Dwarf. They have all that pedigree, like we've been talking about with Conflict 47. So he's hoping to be well enough to attend the open day for Warlord Games later this month, so September 21st. But they'll see how that goes. And John goes on to say he was the best partner to set up a company with, always in high spirits and working like a trooper. He will be sorely missed around the Warlord offices. And then the nice thing was on their post, there's so many nice comments.
Sometimes the miniature war game community is not terrible.
Yes. So, wishing him a quick recovery, all the best. And then kind of reminiscing. In my formative years were a reader of White Dwarf with Andy C. and Jarvis J, constantly battling out. But Paul was another big personality who very much made me feel we were all part of the same community. And a lot of good memories. And this was the one at the end surprised me a little bit. I had a pleasure of chatting to Paul a lot over Vent, if anybody remembers the voice chat Vent back in the day of City of Heroes and occasionally World of Warcraft. He was the funny and wisest head in the chat room most of the times. So that's funny. MMOs, I guess, it's like, you got to be online. So that's a shame. We don't want to see, and that's what's going to happen. We're losing the, old school RPG designers, and now the war gamers are starting to get to that age, and
haven't war gamers been at that age?
Maybe that's true.
Historical war gamers, at least. Sorry.
Unfortunately, it came out on social media too that what had happened was brain cancer.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah. So it's a nasty brain tumor is what was posted. So people are saying absolutely gutted. Hope for a speedy recovery.
I'm in the email newsletter as well, and there wasn't a lot of details on what had happened.
I think they wanted to keep it. But I think he posted it. Someone, family or somebody posted it on social media, so it got out and then ended up in the comments. But the original statement didn't contain the actual.
In those cases, I think it's kind of the person or the family's kind of priority to whether or not they say exactly what's going on.
No, I think that's true, and because I think some people just don't want to share that personal medical information at all. All right. So, sorry. I was very sorry to hear that and hope for the best. And so on to more, I guess, crowdfunding. Yikes. So the Plasmodics, an RPG of mutant freaks in the weird future, is a post-apocalyptic Gonzo sci-fi. So this is on crowdfunding. I believe this is Kickstarter. And so a sci-fi game with the aesthetics and genre tropes that like totally new and different. So, we have Starfinder, Dragon Star Wars, Alien RPG, but now we have a game about mutant freaks. So you can make a weird little guy in this, which is a mutant freak, and pick from kind of human, sort of animal, mostly robot or alien as your beginning tropes. This is going to be 118 page book on Kickstarter. So the book will contain full rules. You can get the full rules without the art. So it's a very like heavily designed and illustrated book. So the preview of the full rules are available, so you can check those out. And a quote from the website: Plasmodic is a tabletop role-playing game of post-apocalyptic. I've already said all this. So the mutants, joined in hand in mutated hand. So the world and its debris are yours to play in. Uncover odd artifacts, wrestle with opposing factions and your cryptic alliances, and see what the weird world has to offer.
Wasn't Cryptic Alliance what they used in Gamma World?
Oh, maybe, yeah,
The
maybe
original?
they might be. Yeah, they might be going after that. So, and there's so your weird little guy can have 4 categories of mutation: physical, mental, plant, and meta. So simple rules to keep track of everything, and a unique setting they call the King Tide. So I think we might, I'm not sure what kind of scale we're on. We might be on a micro wheel scale. It's hard to, I mean, the illustrations especially look are very abstract. So you play in the remnants of the world in the smithereens. So yeah, very interesting. I'm curious. So I'd like to take a look at the rules, even without the art,
Right.
to see like what they're trying to do here, because they're abstracting it enough or trying to change the setting enough that it feels sci-fi, but it's organic and mutant and what these, what they're, going after, because you can freakify your words and deeds, personality and perception with nuances. Oh yeah, so they go through on the Kickstarter some of the so you have your mutations of those categories, and nuances are basically, I think, like your stats, like the 4 stats are body, mind, and skill, and then you have everything is based on this 10 hit point principle. So 10 HP, everything has 10 hit points. And there's a havoc trouble track. So those are the kind of the 2 bases. So the trouble is counted as tracked on a countdown to disaster. So whenever you miss a roll or get too much fallout, the trouble track ticks up by 1. When it reaches 10, the trouble dice hits the table, and the trouble dice are 6-sided dice that you add the trouble value to it every time. And when the trouble dice hits the table, the players choose to start at 6 or 1, and each fighting round or scene advances the trouble dice 1 value. If the dice is at 6, it ticks down to 1. If it's at 1, it goes up to 6. And once the die is in its final number after the fighting round or scene, remove it from play and reset the trouble track. And I'm not sure what it's doing.
Not sure.
Yeah, so it's got to have an effect on fighting effects and stuff. But yeah, so there's a couple of funny mechanics, and also the salty run back. So you're mad. You shouldn't die right here. You and the thing that made you your HP hit 0. Both refresh to 10 hit points and duel it out. 1-on-1, no help. If you win, level up. If you lose, you're dead forever. So kind of some fight to the death. Yeah, so it seems like it is on a very like strange like simplified level. So it does feel more like amoebas fighting than anything of like, monsters or robots or anything.
If it was, that would be kind of interesting.
Yeah. So we will say, and then artifacts artifacts of the rare world-changing items of the before times. So they have an effect on things. And then the adventure zine they're releasing along with the rules is called Vermiculture.
Which again makes me think of microorganisms.
Oh, yeah, right. It's feeling very small. And there are things called bunkers. There are bunkers. There are bunkers that are paid for by the billionaires of the Lost Era, and these are cultures in the game. And they were designed for specific reasons in this long ago, and now they're kind of different environments. But so check it out. I thought it was kind of an odd, unique take on what sci-fi could be. And if you see the art, you'll get what they're trying to do pretty quickly. But the explanation of that the mechanic didn't go anywhere, and it maybe have something to do with in combat or whatever.
Maybe, but like you said, the rules, they have made the rules without text freely available. Go check out, right? Yeah.
So you can see everything that's going on. So that's Good Luck Press. In collaboration with Seb Pines and Will Jobst. So we'll see how that goes. And shipping from Canada. And so everything is in Canadian dollars. So it's actually quite cheap. Yeah, actually quite reasonable.
Yeah.
But it is shipping from Canada. So international shipping may be a little bit brutal. I don't think they've streamlined anything. And so if we're talking about just the PDF, it's $15 US. And then a physical book will run you $45 for just the rules. Yeah. So and we're still in that 50th anniversary year, I believe.
I just saw the title on the Google Doc and I'd like come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man.
Dungeons and Dragons, apart from these like story-based, character-based whiskeys is getting an official stout and bourbon. Whoa! So why not like Adderall and Molly? That's the generation that is playing D&D now. I don't think it's a cigars and whiskey kind of a crowd. But anyhow, that's not what the New Holland Brewing Company thinks. So in collaboration with Wizards of the Coast, they're releasing a limited edition D20 brew barrel aged stout and an original mead cask bourbon whiskey from their through their New Holland's Dragon Milk product line. So they've been doing Dragon Milk for a while. So you can go to the Dragon Milk website and pre-order, which is launching this week. So we've had Lego sets. We've got the Converse, Chuck Taylor's, Pop-Tarts, I believe. And of course, the other spirits that we were talking about are the Matthew Lillard Quest's End whiskey line.
Wasn't he peddling NFTs for a while?
Yeah, he's everything. I think he's got his fingers in all the pies. So that was the whiskey that was based on the character classes that had a story once you finish the bottle. So he will be running a Critical Role crossover to promote his whiskey like everybody else. So I guess D&D is the new.
Sorry, Matthew Lillard.
Yes.
To promote his whiskey.
Mm-hmm.
That is D&D tie-in.
Yes, right.
He's doing a cross promotion.
Mm-hmm.
Running a Critical Role crossover.
Yeah, yes.
What are they going to do? Play like D&D beer pong or something, or just like something? My face doesn't say it all. Like, this is beyond stupid.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
It's really, really sad. So this, both of these products from Dragon Milk won't be available until November, but the pre-sales start this week. And a quote from the website: "Brewed with the same passion that fuels D&D adventures, Dragon Milk has a nationally renowned reputation as a bold, legendary beverage." Says the CEO. "Not only does our work with Hasbro allow us to honor D&D's 50-year history, but it also underscores our shared values of creating savored memories and forging lasting friendships." And DUI convictions.
I got nothing. I got nothing on that one. Other than, God, that is stupid.
Oh, but it gets better.
Oh, God.
D&D isn't just a game. It's this amazing community that's all about bringing fantasy and wonder to life, whether that's living in rooms, backyards, or wherever folks want to play. This is Jess Lanzillo, the head of D&D products and franchise at WotC. "We're excited to be teaming up with the New Holland brewing folks for the big D&D anniversary together. We're building on that. We're building on what makes D&D so cool."
Shit game?
Just alcohol, just hard
alcohol,
liquor.
Apparently.
Bringing people together through shared experience of adventure.
Which way is the toilet?
Yeah, right. So, yeah, I don't know why they keep doing that. I mean, the audience is huge. The player base is huge. Yep. But I think they're focusing on kind of a narrow, older group of people that probably don't represent the largest.
I don't know.
Crowd.
Like, I would be interested in actual like numbers and data about like, okay, what percent or what number of people who played in like have alcohol at the game, right?
Right.
Or what it is. I don't know.
Yeah, because it is definitely distracting if it's a serious group.
It can be.
Yeah, and
it can be.
I think it can kind of be a little bit, and especially for the DM. I think the DM needs to be as sharp and as able to. I mean, it takes off the edge. If you're
anything. Yeah.
If you're socially a little bit naturally nervous, it takes the edge off. But yeah, you don't want to go.
I mean, I'm certainly not going to knock drinking at games because I think, like us, when we did play, not D&D, right? Like, it was kind of not an excuse, but it was a reason to get together, and we didn't see each other kind of like outside of that group. So like there was a lot of socializing and stuff going on in addition to the game.
Right.
So I'm sure that's part of it as well. So I'm not going to say this is a terrible idea. Like, don't drink during games, whatever you want to do, but like to partner up with just kind of like
the official whiskey.
Like, how about you focus on creating the game?
Right. Yeah, but I think it's all part of the Beadle and Grimm kind of like cashing in on the whales, the people that like spend too much money, and you don't want to have you come to their table, they have their basement all decked out with replica swords on the walls and the tables full of themed whiskey.
I'm sure Hasbro and Wizards looked at things like Beadle and Grimm and said, why isn't that money coming to us?
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So, okay, fine. This just seems. Yeah. Okay. Let's move on.
Yeah. What a 50th anniversary it's been. And so lastly, the Barbarians of Lemuria, Mythic Plus Edition. So this is Ludospheric. I think I'm saying that right. So the French publisher has taken over. And why French? What's going on here? So the thing that stood out to me was their AI statement on their
I'm waiting for a disaster.
The page was awesome. But if you don't know, the Barbarians of Lemuria is a 2d6 system, 4 attributes, 4 combat options, and 4 careers. So originally published in English in 2014.
Okay.
This is a heroic role-play game set in a sword and sorcery genre, post-apocalyptic world, thousands of years into the future, and everything it's unrecognizable to anyone today. Almost prehistoric. So steaming jungles, vast untamed wildernesses, horror-filled swamps, sun-baked deserts, and massive man-eating beasts roam the unexplored regions of Lemuria and beyond, from island-sized sea serpents capable of sinking war galleys to the huge jungle-dwelling dinosaurs that can swallow a man whole. So
now you're talking my language.
Oh, yes, cool. Yeah, lots of so sprawling cities are part of the setting, but also ancient ruins, temples, cities, and tombs and palaces. So of previous years. So this is going to be a release. In this book will be the complete set of rules, Gazetteer of Lemuria, Bestiary, a selection of human adversaries, I guess NPCs. Additional special rules for alchemists, sorcerer, and priests, and then adventure seeds for 5 entirely new ready-to-play adventures that are being translated into English for the first time.
Oh, cool. Okay.
This is 232 pages, a softcover book with flaps, 8.5 by 11, with over 100 original black and white drawings by Emmanuel Roder and the AI statement. Let's get back to that since we're talking art. They say absolutely no so-called AI or generative gizmos whatsoever have been used in the creation of either the text or images of this book. The content in this game is entirely human made.
Good on you.
And so what this is this game's been out for a while and very active and popular in the French tabletop community, and they have made some kind of advancements, and they wanted to include those in an English version. So they're being translated and brought back into the English version. So let's see.
So it kind of sounds like we've talked before about how Dungeons and Dragons went over to Sweden, became something and kind of evolved into its own thing, and it's now kind of coming back over to the States.
Yeah,
and it sounds like this is kind of the same thing, just in the French.
Right. Yeah, because the French translation of Barbarians of Lemuria was originally published in 2016, and then specifically created for French players, and they decided to completely revamp the layout and the illustration of the French edition, and also added some new adventures. The book's success in France encouraged us to create additional supplements of it. A new collection of adventures, so things that were published in French only. Right, that's
what I'm interested in. Yeah,
and then another book of new adventures was published at the end of 2023. Each book is now included with additional background elements and more details about the world. So the books were very successful and received a lot of awards, and so now they're bringing the entire series, everything that's been made for it so far, back into English. And so the fear you have with translation is it's going to be a shoddy translation and not very playable. But it seems like they've got Jeffrey Probst, a legal alien in Milwaukee, from Milwaukee, Wisconsin, who's been a translator of fiction by several major French authors. So they have an accomplished and talented translator that'll be able to bring this.
Not just Google Translate.
Yeah, right. That's just some of it's kind of good with English and then makes it very unplayable. Like the Cadwallon RPG, I think Matt famously we always talk about that. It's hard to even understand what they mean in some of the setting for confrontation. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Was I think originally done in French because it's Rackham, so it was really done in French, and then they translated to English not very successfully. So a quote from the website, and I think this is from the translator. I always thought of Barbarians of Lemuria, or Bowl as it's been called since I've known it, was pretty good this is the designer. Yes, when it was designed, but it wasn't until much later than others were given the opportunity to see whether I was right to think that. Thankfully, by and large, they did. Yeah, so that's the original designer. So yeah, we are going to get another.
And I think I saw something in there about it's not a rules were like revision. It's kind of like not a new edition.
Right.
It's just this is kind of what the game looks like in
everything
France
so far. Things have been developed over the 8 years in French only that the English speaking world hasn't had access to. So it's not, they're not changing the rules, and I think that's why they stuck with Mythic Edition and just put the plus.
So
it's not a streaming service for Barbarians of Lemuria.
That'd be pretty funny. Yeah.
But $12 will get you the PDF.
Oh, wow, okay.
And so pretty reasonable. And $45 get you the softcover and the PDF. But of course, that doesn't include shipping.
I have been interested in Barbarians of Lemuria for a while. Like, as a fan of Conan, right? This sounds very Conan-esque.
Yes.
Which make, like, when I saw that, separate rules for, like, sorcerers, alchemists, and priests. Because, like, if you think about Conan, like, normally, like, wizards and magic and stuff, that's the bad guys, right? Like, there's not a lot on, sometimes none on the good side. So that to me implies, like, you could play kind of just, like, straight barbarians. Or if you really wanted to, you could go like Conan the Adventurer and have the little sorcerer dude with his 2 wolves who are actually his brother and sister that have been shape changed, right? Anyone else want that show? No? Missed was late countless days to elementary school because I wanted to finish Conan the Adventurer, which now that I've watched was not that good. I don't know what I was thinking. Right? It was a classic like 90s kid show, like this annoying animal sidekick. And just, anyway, back to Barbarians.
The bird on his shield, right?
The Phoenix.
They said to do that. That's right. The Phoenix on the shield. That's right.
Some kind of annoying animal sound with his name, right?
Right. And so a little bit more about the mechanics. So
let's get back to
task rolls in Barbarians consists of 2d6 plus an attribute plus a career if it's appropriate. Yep. And they also have boons and flaws and hero points. Okay. So you choose a weapon and the color of your loincloth, and you're ready to forge your heroic destiny. That's a pretty straightforward character.
So even more barbaric than Conan, because like contrary to popular perception, Conan actually wore whatever clothes was appropriate to the country he's in.
Yes, you're right. Yes, exactly. And so this campaign, this is on Backer Kit, and it'll get you a €5 discount on either the PDF or physical book if you back this campaign, and then it'll be available retail. And so I'll put links to everything in the description for the video, and that's going to do it for this week.
I'm pretty interested in Barbarians of Lemuria, so I'll go look at that.
Nice. So where can people find you?
My brain fell out. Threads, Blue Sky, Instagram, and the occasional Facebook interest group. Right? Hive Mind, HYVEMYND, where it's 2mm Achaemenid Persian army currently.
Nice.
I just had to go through step by step. Yeah.
You get one of those macro lenses so you can.
Funny enough, I posted shots of my little irregular miniature 2mm thing to one of the groups, and everyone said that's 6mm, and a lot of people were yelling at me like, "You're posting the wrong thing, 6mm." And I'm like, first of all, right? That's a 1 yen coin for scale, not a nickel.
Right. Yeah.
And I just got a really good shot of my miniatures, right? Because I had zoomed in and fair enough, right? But like, how big do you think my hand is, right? Like, because I lined them all up in my hand, took a picture. Anyway,
Just put a grain of rice next to
I
them.
should. That would be a grain of rice. Yep. Anyway.
Nice.
Yeah. So, how about you?
So I'm trying to get my September live stream for the cartoon, my abuse cartoons in. Couldn't get it this week, so it's going to have to happen soon.
It's tough to have a schedule.
Yeah. It's been very disrupted, but so hopefully soon the September live stream. So all the cartoons for this month I will be doing, and have already done a couple, but nice. I will do all the catching up on that. And I'm going to be taking some time off at the beginning of October. So October live stream is coming soon in a few weeks as well. Okay. So I got to get everything out of the way before I go anywhere. And so that's Abuse Cartoons on YouTube and Twitch. And if you want to read the cartoon, gocomics.com/domestic abuse.
20 years.
Yes, 20 years of cartoons. That's a lot. Thousands. So if you like what we're doing here on the weekly, consider becoming a weekling.
The strongest of all supporters.
Yes, by going to patreon.com/upturnedtable and let us know what you want to see more of on this show, and things you'd like to see covered. And maybe, we're not talking so much about board games. It's more tabletop, but whatever you're interested in, let us know. Board gaming, 2mm, 6mm, whatever your millimeter, 15.
Or I like it when you go to like the sites are like their coarser scale brethren of like 28 millimeters. I like that, like they deride the larger scale stuff.
Coarser scale. Nice.
One thing I don't want to see people saying they want to see more of. D&D themed alcohol.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, D&D themed alcohol. Yeah, there'll be more of it, I'm sure, if it makes anybody money. But so that's upturntable.com is the website, and on all social media, Upturned Table. And yeah, that's what we'll be. So keep an eye out for some Ironsworn tomorrow, and in a week we'll be getting some outgunned. Yeah, nice. So I guess you got a couple of session zeros in a row to see what's going on.
You'll see different ones.
Yeah. So take a little break from Dune and show you a couple of other systems, and just kind of stretch our legs, get out of the Imperium of Man for a while, and see what we can find. But thanks for joining us, and we'll be back again next week.
Later, mortals.
Goodbye.